Good morning, everyone. So this is Jason from Elf Angels Creations. Just gonna turn some background music on. Yeah, so today I just wanted to get some stuff done that wasn't done a few weeks ago. Like, for instance, taking these bouquets apart. So, as most of you know, that our friend passed away a few weeks ago, and I set it out that I was going to take apart the bouquets from the wake and the funeral, but I never did. So I never did, and now I'm finally doing it, and it looks like I was a little too late on some of these because they started to mold. But, yeah, and then we never let anything go to waste. So for these bouquets, I am taking them apart. And the reason why I didn't take them apart weeks ago is because it was emotional for us. It was emotional for us to even just to take apart the bouquets. And because our friend was a healer, we wanted to recycle his bouquet, like his flowers, and use them for magic and for other purposes. So these are beautiful. As I'm sitting here, I just realized I need more containers. Maybe I can get away with clipping this one off. Because some of his, some of the flowers in his bouquet, we're going to be using it for spiritual purposes. And the funerals I've been to, the past few months, I noticed that they always throw away the flowers. Sometimes the flowers are taken to the grave, put on that person's graveyard. This time it wasn't. But, okay, I see what they did here, that's why. But, okay, how am I gonna do this here? Why don't I have to go grab another container? I'll be right back. So with this bouquet, I noticed that it was starting to mold over time. So it's gonna be kind of difficult to take this one apart. There we go. Because, oops, this spongy stuff that they use is full of, is kind of still full of water. So all this time that it was sitting there, oh, that's nice. All this time that it was sitting there, it was rotting. So in a spiritual way, when we take apart a bouquet like this, we think about the person who passed on. We respect their wishes. Like for instance, these lilies that were put on the bouquet, these flowers, like the petals, the lily petals can be used to break love spells. So if anybody has love medicine on them or love spells, we could use the lilies to break that curse. So those are going to be reused. A lot of this stuff cannot be reused, so it's going to be going back to Mother Earth in an offering ceremony to give it back to Mother Earth. And as we do that, we also lay down tobacco and we say our prayers for good luck, and we ask that the person who passes away blesses us with good luck and good health. Because we all have problems as human beings. So as a human being, we ask that the ancestors, the people who passed on, come and bless us with healing and with good luck, because we're still alive. We're still as human beings, and as human beings we have problems. So as I was getting ready emotionally to take this apart, because I said it's not going in a garbage, I thought, why don't I do a Facebook Live video to explain why we do this, and to show people that if you are in a grieving process, and if you ever do have to do this, take a bouquet apart instead of throwing it in a garbage, you'll know why, especially as a spiritual person, you'll know that there is a significance behind it. A spiritual significance. So anything like this that is like paper, or in this case it's kind of like a papery plastic, this we have to throw away, but if we were out in nature we would burn this or try to dispose of it as natural as possible, but because we're not out in nature we cannot do that, and this jar is going to be recycled. That'll be used to save another plant's life. Oh. It's getting kind of messy. And carnelians, I think that's what these are. Yeah. So even this dry carnelian, so when you have dried flowers of any kind, when you place the dried flowers in your offering dish, there's certain spirits that like certain colors and certain spirits that like certain flowers. So in this case is a carnelian, I believe. I could be wrong, but we'll just say it's a pink flower. So this month's full moon was called the pink flower full moon, or the blossom full moon. There's so many different names of the full moon we had this month, sorry. But this month's super powerful color is pink. So there's 3 powerful colors this month that we could work with in regards to spirituality to help us manifest what it is we need to manifest. And pink is one of the colors. So white, blue, and pink are super powerful colors this month. And whatever it is that we're trying to manifest, we could call upon those colors to help us with our manifestation. So for instance, these are really nice flowers too. So these actually I'll take apart and put those in a separate bin. Yeah, so for instance, we want to manifest love in our lives. We want to manifest, finances is another big one that everyone's always manifesting. Healing, people that are grieving and they need to move on, so forth. So there's a lot of things that people manifest for. So using the colors pink, white, and blue this month, those are your power colors you want to work with. So these river rocks also have a spiritual purpose. So in this river rock, we also have, in this vase of rocks, we have a whole bunch of different crystals in here. A lot of them look like they're tumbled, naturally or, manually tumbled. But anyways, here we have a smoky quartz. So there's a couple of the smoky quartz in this jar. And the smoky quartz crystals help you with protection. They help you block radiation and EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies. They block that, so it's good to have around your cell phones. They're good to have around your computers, around your TV, tablets, things like that. Anything that microwaves, anything that gives off radiation, you definitely want to have a smoky quartz by that machine, so that the smoky quartz will take the EMFs away from you. So they'll suck up the radiation for you, and they'll protect your body from the radiation. So definitely good to have. So we have these as well in the store in polished form. I'll do a separate video on that. But yeah, and within this jar they also have here some jaspers. They have like definitely quartz in here, a whole bunch of smoky quartz. They have your snowy quartz, which is a grandmother stone, which is to do with healing, emotional healing, the full moon. And they also have some new moon crystals. So the new moon crystals are anything that looks like this that's black. So any of the black stones are known as the new moon crystals, and this one here is shaped like a kidney. So that's telling me here that I myself and other clients that will be coming forward, they have to work on their kidney issues, and somebody needs a medicine for kidneys. So that's what this little stone is talking about here, letting me know that somebody out there is dealing with kidney issues and that we have a medicine for that person's kidneys. So yeah, it's a bit about how that works. So the universe always provides us with certain signs and things that are needed. So in this case here, we know that someone is dealing with kidney issues. Back to the smoky quartz. So here we know that somebody out there needs to protect their energy. They need spiritual protection, physical protection. They need to protect themselves from electromagnetic functions. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I'll talk about in a different video. But yeah, even the stone, going back to stones, so the stones itself, the shape of the stones would represent a certain body function. They'll represent a certain organ. They'll represent, they could, what I'm basically saying is that I have the gift to read crystals. It's called a crystal reading. So after I clean these crystals off, and after I clean them off, I'm able to read them. Sorry, I got a client here. There. Because I'm a certified mental health first aider, I like to do a wellness check from time to time with certain clients to make sure they're okay. Are they dealing with any anxiety and so forth. So that's what that message is about, is because I phoned some people this morning and just wanted to see how they're doing and make sure everything's okay. If they needed someone to talk to and all that, then I'm here. Yeah, so this bouquet beside me, oh, you guys can't see it. I'm gonna lift it, but it might fall apart because it is old. So this beautiful bouquet here is another one I'm gonna be taking apart. So the yellow rose petals is what I'm after, and this springs of goldenrod. So goldenrod is another powerful plant, which I'll talk about in this video, and I'll talk about more about the roses. But any part of the rose is definitely super powerful to work with any kind of love spells, protection, prosperity, healing, good health, divination. The list goes on and on when it comes to roses. So I will talk about that in this video. But I'm gonna go grab I need to go and grab, goes back there, more containers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to grab 6 more containers and then I can continue this video. So I'm gonna kind of clear off my desk here a bit so I have more room for these plants. And I'll be right back again. I'm back, everyone. So I had to go grab more containers. And I got some books here that I could talk about the herbs as we continue this conversation. So I want to talk about a little bit more about quartz. Where are you? Of course, I'm going to talk about it. It had to disappear on me, the page I wanted. Okay, I'll just use the index here. 107. Be a lot faster doing this. Okay, so going back to the smoky quartz I was talking about earlier in a video here. So the smoky quartz is a receptive energy. So receptive means that it, if you're a right-handed person, it's believed that, like, say it is a right hand, so I'm right-handed. So it's believed that this one here is a projective energy. So it's a projective hand. So it means that whatever you put bracelets or hold a crystal or whatever on your right side, you're pushing that energy out towards the universe. Now receptive is, we'll say because I'm right-handed, this would be my left side. So you're receiving energy. So you're pulling in that kind of energy. So because I'm wearing a rose quartz on my receptive hand and I'm wearing a yellow jade, I am pulling those energies of those crystals towards my aura. So smoky quartz is also, smoky quartz can be a feminine energy, which feminine means like, you know, the feminine divine, a female energy, a lighter energy, nothing too heavy. So the smoky quartz here represents another mood elevator and is worn as a grounding stone. It overcomes depression and other negative emotions. So that explains a bit about smoky quartz, and I'm just looking around here to see. You know, I have big pieces of smoky quartz that are supposed to be, oh, they moved it. Okay, my staff moved it. Now we're supposed to be sitting here on a desk with me. And they're sitting there to, oh, I have some here. They're sitting there to help people as they do a reading, as I do a reading and stuff for people, or just sitting down with them. So a smoky quartz will actually get rid of that person's negative energy and get rid of that person's depressing energy if they're depressed. And it helps protect my energy as well too. So I always have a smoky quartz nearby. Now I was talking about the snowy quartz, which is not in this book unfortunately, but the snowy quartz is a feminine energy, like I said, and it does help with energies of lactation. It helps with energies of the feminine divine. It represents a full moon. It represents a grandmother spirit or a mother spirit. It helps with the bones, teeth, and marrow in the body. So it does a lot. Yeah, so that's just a bit about crystals there to explain about the crystals I was talking about earlier. Now, as for the plants that I'm using right now, recently I was working, I took this one apart. So these are rose petals. So it's a pink rose, to be exact, but we're just gonna say it's just a rose. So roses or a feminine energy. They're ruled by the planet Venus. So Venus is a Greek goddess of love, ruled by the element of water. The deities are Hathor, Holda, Eros. So Eros is a Greek god, a love god. Cupid, Demeter, Isis, that's Egyptian. Adonis, again, that's another Greek love god. Harpocrates, how do you say it? Harpocrates, and Aurora. So Demeter is also another Greek god as well too. So there's different gods that they represent the rose flowers. Oops. So again, that's roses. So the roses help you with powers of love, psychic powers, healing, love divination, good luck, and protection. So love divination is where you want to find out if somebody loves you, if they truly love you, or they don't. So in a love divination, you could actually use rose petals to find that out, if a person loves you or not. And again, going back to this bouquet that I took apart, so there was roses, which roses can be used for love spells, and there was lilies right beside it. So lilies, would break love spells. So roses have long been used in love mixtures, owing to the flower's associations with the emotions. A chaplet of roses, worn when performing love spells, remove the thorns, of course, or in a single rose is a... Okay, let me reread that. So a chaplet of roses worn when performing love spells, remove the thorns, or a single rose in a vase on the altar are powerful love magic aids. Rose water distilled from the petals is added to love baths. So I used to have rose water before, but if you're going to be using natural rose water, like to make it on your own, you have to use it right away, because it will go moldy over time after a few days. But if you add alcohol in there, like 60% of alcohol or 40% of alcohol, it'll stay longer. So rose water distilled from the petals is added to love baths. Rose hips, the fruit of the rose, are strung and worn as love attracting beads. A tea of rosebuds drunk before sleep induces prophetic dreams. To discover their romantic future, women used to take 3 green rose leaves and name each for one of their lovers. The one that stayed green the longest answered the question of which one. Oh, that's cool. Huh. Rose petals and hips are also used in healing spells and mixtures. And a rose water saturated cloth laid to the temples will relieve headache pain. Mm-hmm. So I'll read that again. So rose petals and hips are also used in healing spells and mixtures. And a rose water saturated cloth laid to the temples will relieve headache pain. So basically, you boil your roses or your rose petals, and the water that's in there, you soak a cloth in there while it's warm, and then you put that cloth here in your temples, and it'll help get rid of headaches. What else is there here? Trying to see. Oh, it's reading the wrong one. Roses are also added to fast luck mixtures, and when carried, act as personal protectants. So that's interesting. So these could be grinded up and made into a good luck charm for fast luck. Rose petals sprinkled around the house calm personal stress and household upheavals. Roses planted in a garden attract fairies and are said to grow best when stolen. Huh. So that's very interesting. Now I'm also going to read on... Oh, carnelians. That was the other one. Welcome to the School of Magic.
Mm. Oh, this fuzzy.
That I'm not sure. They look cool, so I was like, well, I'll keep these for decoration. And sweep away the negative energy. Make them into little witch brooms even. Add some charms and... But they're falling apart, that's the thing.
I wouldn't use it for that.
Yeah, so it's... Okay, so anyways, Blair always distracts me when I'm doing these videos. So carnelian, so I was picking out carnelians earlier in a video. So carnelians, the folk names are known as gillies or gillyflower, Jove's flower, nelka, scaffold flower, and sops in wine. That's cool. So this is known as a gillyflower. That sounds very much like Harry Potter, like gillyweed, but this is a gillyflower, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, so this one here is a masculine herb ruled by the energy of the sun, the element of fire, sorry. The element of fire, the deities is juniper. So juniper as a deities was also known as Hades. No, sorry. It was also known as Zeus. So very interesting. The powers are protection, strength, and healing. So worn during Elizabethan times to prevent coming to an untimely death on the scaffold. Untimely death on the scaffold. Okay. Carnations can be used in all-purpose protective spells. Carnations are placed in convalescent rooms to give the healing patient strength and energy, and are also used in healing spells. Place fresh carnelians, red or best, on the altar during healing rituals, and add the dry blossoms to sachets and incenses for the same purpose. So I'm going to step away for a second here, and I'm going to show you guys something, which I found very interesting as I'm reading this. I'll be right back. No, I'm used to it, yeah. Okay, I'm back. So I want to show you guys this. So, speaking of roses and love spells, so a red sachet like this can be used as in love spells. So say for instance, someone comes in and says, I need help with love in my life, because we never do love spells towards anybody in particular. But say if they're like, I need love in my life, can you help me with that? And then we'll be like, yes, we can. So they can create their own love spell if they want, which would be more powerful for that person, or they could just pay us to do it. These are like little sachets that the book was talking about. So these come in different colors. Red, of course, is used for lust or love. Or very passionate romantic love, then you want to use red. So yeah, we would get something like, rose petals, put it in there, rose quartz crystals, and things like that to help that person with their love life. So that's just a little example of that one, of how rose petals can be used. And these little baggies here are $5 each. And of course you now get the 20% off because we're having a sale this month, and every product is 20% off this month. Okay. Now for the healing spells, so this one here is a healing sachet. So say when we're reading about carnelian here, we could use the color green to represent healing for that person. So again, we could put the carnelian in the sachet to help that person heal. And again, because now I have the sachet to show you guys what they're talking about, I'll read one more time about what they're saying here. Okay, so it says your carnelian. So you want to add the dry blossoms, which is this. Add the dry blossoms to sachets, which is this, and incenses for the same purpose. So this will help a person heal. So adding a carnelian into a sachet like this would help a person heal within the 4 days, depending on the condition. But it'll basically help the person heal faster. So very interesting. So I'm gonna put these carnelians aside because we're definitely gonna use that in the future. These little feather looking plants, I don't know what these are called, but they're kind of falling apart, but these can be reused for protection as well, as little witches brooms. So you basically, you know, say you have your altar or whatever space you're using, so this can represent as if you sweep it from east to west, you could sweep away negative energy. So or you could have those hanging near your doorway, you know, upside down like that. And then I could decorate these after, and then you hang them in your doorway and they bring protection to your home. So I'll have fun fiddling out with that guy later. The other container, I am going to put the lilies in there. And again, these lilies are great for breaking love spells. And let's find out more what the lily does actually. Now, I forgot to mention, if you're ever going to be working with flowers and you don't know if you're allergic, please wear a mask. I've been working with these herbs for years, so I know I'm not allergic to them. So that's why I'm not wearing a mask or gloves or anything. But if you're new to herbs and you're not sure, definitely wear some rubber gloves and wear a mask. Okay, so lilies. So some lilies are poisonous. So they're ruled by the gender is feminine, ruled by the moon, element of water. The deities again are Venus, Juno, how do you say this? Neptes, so that's Egyptian, and Kuan Yin. So that's a Chinese. That is a Chinese love goddess. So the power. So lilies are used for protection and breaking love spells. So a magical plant. So plant lilies in a garden to keep away ghosts and evil, protect against the evil eye, and to keep unwanted visitors from your home. Very interesting. So I'm gonna try and growing some lilies this summer. I had a plant of lilies that was beside the door, and when I was gonna transplant them, it turns out the ground in front of the house where the garden bit is extremely hard, and so it has to be broken up. I'm not sure like how to do that exactly because I'm not the best gardener, but the ground has to be broken up into softer dirt, and then we could actually put the lilies in front of the house. So what I'm thinking of doing to make it easier for us is to get one of those, they're shaped like this, those flower beds, those wooden, like kind of like a raised flower bed kind of thing. And put that in front of the house and add some soft dirt in it, and then I could plant lilies and all that stuff in there. So in the future, if I don't want the lilies in there, I just have to bring up that dirt and spill the container out and then re-add another plant in there. Okay, so going back to the book, so lilies are also good antidotes to love spells. For this purpose, a fresh lily should be worn or carried. This break love spells which have been cast involving a specific person. So again, what they're saying here is that if you have a love spell on you, or you think you have love medicine on you, you'll definitely need lilies like this, and we can, because these ones are dried, we can design these in a sachet or in a smudge that you could use to help break that love spell within the 4 days, depending on the condition. So to bring clues, so lilies, will help bring clues in solving a crime committed in the past year. Bury an old piece of leather in a bed of lilies. Okay, so I'll reread that. So to bring clues in solving a crime committed in the past year, bury an old piece of leather in a bed of lilies. I didn't know that. The first white lily of the season will bring strength to him or her who finds it. Very interesting. So this is a white lily, so it's talking about these are great for strength spells. So you definitely want to have that in your collection because we need all kinds of strength when it comes to grieving and all that. So very interesting that that's what white lilies do. Okay, so I'm going to get back to some of this other work here. But I just want to explain to you guys you know, the purpose again of why we do stuff like this, and you know, it all has a spiritual significance to it, and nothing goes to waste, and nothing goes to waste, and whatever we're not using goes back to Mother Earth. So these yellow flowers, I'm not sure what these are called, I have to research them, but I know they are part of the composite family, so if you guys are really good with identifying flowers, then please let me know. Let me know. I should have brought water with me. I'm drinking coffee and the sugar of the coffee is making me cough off and on. So another little neat thing, if you guys are ever drying flowers and you're clipping off the like petals or leaves or whatever you're clipping off, you could always envision that you're cutting away negative energy cords of your life and you're asking that flower to help you heal or deal with that situation. So in this case, I'm asking that the flower helps me deal with grieving. And I'm also asking that this flower medicine here helps me find a new accountant in a future, because we are going to be looking for an accountant again. I'm also asking that this flower and the essence of this flower be helped used for healing. Now what I like to do is I always take off the, like whenever I do working with any plant, I like to take off the what do you call, blossoms off first, and then I take off the leaves, and then I take off the stems one by one. So long time ago, I used to use like once all the stems were taken off, I'll show you guys actually. So once all the stems were taken off, depending on the size of the plant, let's cut that tip off. These are perfect for wands. So these are perfect for herbal wands. So in this case, I'm not sure what this flower is called, but this represents an herbal wand for you guys. And an herbal wand could be used to direct energy. It could be used for different spell work. So actually I'm gonna keep this guy because I'm very attracted to it. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, put it in one of my containers because it's nice and straight. But sometimes your plants will come out like this, and then because this one's kind of long and I'm going to be giving this back to Mother Earth as an offering, I'm going to actually break it apart. So that way when I put it into a bag to go and offer it back to Mother Earth, it's not ripping open the bag, and it's just a lot easier for to carry. So those babies are going to go back to Mother Earth. Put that one aside. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm asking that this flower brings healing, protection, helps with giving us strength in our times of grieving, I ask that my friend Daniel comes forward and gives us that healing energy that is needed, that loving healing energy. And he helps us find an accountant as well too, because like I said, we're gonna need one, but we have to try to get our finances back in order and all that. So okay, so that is done. So that is some of the petals, and I have some here on a table, so I'm just gonna collect them and put them back in here because I would like to utilize these flowers in some healing spells, protection spells, charms, and things like that for different clients. So a little bit of witchy lessons for you guys there. And I eventually want to do these as a whole video series, talking about plants, talking about different spells, how to create your own spells, and all that stuff. But yeah, isn't that beautiful, you guys? Look at that. Is the yellow petals. Again, I don't know exactly what this plant is called, but I'll research it. But I know it's a part of the composite family, and just by knowing it's a part of the composite family, which is a part of the dandelion family, and so forth, that color yellow, and because it is a color yellow plant, the color yellow represents desire, vitality, inner strength, and self-control. The color yellow also represents the solar plexus chakra, which is to do with the stomach. So that's telling me that if we were to use that plant as a medicine for the body, it is perfect for the stomach. So ulcers, stomach aches, diarrhea, intestinal issues, liver issues as well, because it's the color of the bile in the liver. So yeah, so even though I don't know the exact name of the plant, I know the medicinal properties of the plant just by knowing about the color and by knowing about which family of plants it comes from. So very, very cool, because I've been studying plant medicine for years, and so it's definitely giving me an advantage when it comes to herbal medicines and things like that. So again, just like the previously when I was talking about magic wands and so forth, so this is going to become a magic wand in itself. I'm just trying to smooth it out as possible in case me or a client want to use this for the work. I'll have to sand it down a bit if I can. This is kind of pokey. Yeah, I don't have a sander file right now at the moment, but so again, this becomes a wand. So the thing with the wands is traditionally you want to have your wand as straight as possible, but different wands are for different situations. But traditionally you want to have your wand from your elbow here, the inside of your elbow, to the tip of your middle finger. So here it's, you know, physically you could see that it's not big enough for me, so it won't work for that purpose. But even though it's a bit shorter, that doesn't matter. But yeah, a wand is used to direct energy, whether, you know, in this case, we want to direct positive energy. So we're using that plant's energy. And this wand here is telling me this one here is good for the solar plexus. So this could be a solar plexus wand. It could be used to heal the liver. It could be used to heal the stomach. This wand can also help too with desire, vitality, inner strength, and self-control. So there's a lot of uses already, even though, like I said, we don't know much about this plant, but that's a lot of information itself already, just by knowing the spiritual properties of the colors. So if you guys don't know your plants, but you know your chakra colors, and you know like the magical properties of each color, the spiritual properties, and then you'll know a lot about a certain plant without actually knowing the name of that plant. So some of these are little seeds, I'm thinking too, so Getting myself all dirty. But yeah, like I said, this is kind of a messy job, and some people don't like working with a messy job. But you know, a lot of us here at Elf Angels Creations, like especially me, Blair, and Dee Dee, and Lauren, we've been working with plant medicine for, well, these guys have been learning under my tutoring. So they've been learning for 3 years. Well, it's longer for Blair. He's been learning for years now, like over 10 years. Dee Dee has been learning for about 3 years now, and Lauren's been learning for about 2 years now, something like that. So, okay. Now the last bouquet, this beautiful, beautiful rose bouquet. We're gonna take this apart. Actually, no, I'll put the roses in this one. So again, we are going to work with the rose petals. So I want to try and savor as much of the rose as I can. And I should have brought a better scissors. Oops. Yay, this one's nice and dry. Now, the thing with working with rose petals is the further you get into the center of the rose, it starts to crumble more often. It starts to become more delicate. So you want to try and savor as much of the petals as you can. Oops. And by working with, okay, so that's the inside of the rose. So that we're not going to use. I could use it, but I'm not going to use it in this case. I just want the petals. Because even the rose sepals and every part of the rose can be used. But we're not going to go into full detail of that. And the cool thing with doing this is there's a lot of little seeds of the rose petal in here, so we could actually save the seeds, and we'll have some roses growing next year if we really push it in trying to grow roses. But I'm not the best gardener, so I'm not going to push that, but yeah, and roses are my favorite flower, so if you guys ever want to get me a gift, definitely get me a bouquet of roses. And after the rose dries up, then I could reuse the rose petals and use it for offerings, for different spirits, use it for different healing spells and so forth. So, oh my god, they smell good. And if you're ever drying your rose petals, you want to make sure that you separate your petals as much as possible, because you don't want to have the petals sitting beside each other too long, because they'll actually start to go rotten on you. So you want to try and separate them as much as you can. Again, this is kind of a tedious process, but it's definitely worth it once the rose petals dry up. Because once they start to dry up, they'll start to shrink more, but they'll still keep that beautiful rosy smell. So this is going to be kind of an example. You guys can't probably really see it, but that's an example of some dried rose petals. So and they'll start off like that first, nice and big, and when they dry, they'll go like that, depending on the rose. But gives you guys an example. The next plant I'm super excited to talk about is the goldenrod. So in Saskatchewan, we have at least four different types of goldenrod. There's a goldenrod, the Canada goldenrod, which is the most popular one. the rigid goldenrod, and the okay, what did I say? The low goldenrod, the rigid goldenrod, the Canada goldenrod, and the what's the fourth one called again now? I want to say it's the stiff goldenrod, but that's the same thing as the rigid goldenrod. I can't remember the fourth goldenrod right at the moment, but yeah, there's 4 different kinds that we have in Saskatchewan. So same like some plants, like say when people ask, do you have blackroot? And I'll be like, well, I do have some of them, like different. There's, you know, there's more than one type. So when I name all the different types of blackroot, they're like, oh my god, I didn't realize there was so many. I thought there was just one type. I'm like, no, there's a lot. Like echinacea root is known as blackroot. What else is there? Alum root is known as blackroot. There's a root called blackroot in Africa. And there's a fourth one. What's it called now? And Seneca snake root is also known as blackroot. So when someone says, do you have blackroot? I'm like, which one are you looking for? So a lot of people don't know that when they ask for a certain herb, there is many different kinds. So say in this instance, if someone's like, hey, do you have like rose petals? And I'll say, okay, well, what kind of rose? There's a Sharon rose, a dog rose, you know, and different kinds of roses. But if it's just a rose in general, and they'll be like, okay, well, what color do you want? So if they're like, I want a yellow rose, you know, a white rose, a red rose, you know, then I can understand exactly what they're asking for. But if they're like, oh, I just want a rose, like the rose petals, and then they're like, okay, well, the reason why I'm asking is because different color rose petals do different things, but they could also be used as general purpose, again, for love, protection, healing, divination, love divination. Because I know that kind of knowledge, then I could ask that person like, okay, well, I'm not trying to be snoopy, but I just need to know, like, on some level, like, why do you need the rose petals? Because, you know, I don't know if you're allergic or not to the rose family, and if you are, there's other plants that could be utilized for that purpose, like rosemary, for instance. Because with rosemary, you could use that plant to substitute for any other plant. You know, some people, they don't work with tobacco, and say if that ritual asks you to do a tobacco offering, and you don't smoke, you don't, you know, utilize tobacco because of your beliefs and so forth, then you could use rosemary as an offering. Because rosemary will substitute for any other plant. Oh, beautiful. Oh, we got some seeds there. And some places around the world, depending on the flower, but some places around the world you could actually smoke roses. Now, oops, because of allergies and all that, I do not recommend anybody try it. So a disclaimer there. Oh, there we go. But, yeah, for people that are skilled and people, if it's a part of your cultural background, you could definitely smoke rose petals. So I'm just pulling out the goldenrod here and see if I could pull out the roses to make my job a little bit easier for me. Now even the leaves of the roses can be used. So in this case, we're not going to use them. I'm just going to put those babies in a separate container to be put back to Mother Earth. I could talk about those in a second. Even the sticks of your plants can be used for readings as well, so I can show you guys that quickly as well once I get all of them out, because they could be used just like the I Ching, which is the Chinese readings. There you go. Now that plant is out of the is out of the sponge material. Kind of dusty. Okay, so going back to the sticks here. So yeah, even sticks like these that are left after a plant, like a rose or whatever, you could actually use these in different readings, like tossing the bones kind of thing. So basically you hold it like this and you ask the sticks, like, you know, a question. I'll say, for instance, my question would be like, you know, oops, how is business going to be today? That could be like a general question I'm just going to ask the plant. So again, I'm calling upon the spirit of the rose, the spirit of the yellow rose, sorry, and asking to help me with divination. And I'm saying, asking how is business going to be today. So, so by doing that, I could see that there is a star spirit. So there's a spirit of a star that's helping us. And also protecting us as well too, protecting our energy. It's talking about here too that there's gonna be three people coming, like 3 women coming into the store today, and they all gonna have something in common. And people are gonna be gravitated towards the roses, like I talked about. They're gonna be gravitated towards love and love life, love spells, things like that. Healing as well, grieving. You know, having sympathy. They're going to be asking about, you know, different readings or healings and things like that we offer, which is cool. It's also telling me here to not to rush into certain situations until we do a divination about that situation. So that's pretty good that we're being told ahead of time. And these 3 people that are coming are also talking about here that they need protection. That's a big thing that they're showing in this reading, is that these 3 people need protection, and that something to do with the star, or something to do with protecting their energy, definitely, but protecting their love lives, and also protecting their stomach and their organs, internal organs. So protecting their liver, protecting their kidneys, protecting their, not so much the heart, but protecting the intestines and the bile and things like that I talked about earlier. So it's talking about those people are going to be dealing with some kind of issues in regards to their health. So very interesting. So these little little sticks I'm going to keep for readings. I haven't done that kind of reading in years, so very powerful and very interesting information. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab some water because the air is dry in here, and I'll be right back. Oops. Sorry. Kicking the containers all over. Which one? No, we haven't. Okay. Oh, what are these for? Very nervous. Oh yeah, I forgot about the dust. Oh, right here.
Oh, you can talk about it.
Oh, here, I'll give it back to you. So I just want to talk about this quickly, you guys. So Blair asked me to show you guys this. So these are different new labels that he finished making. So these, they have the bar scan thingy on it. The company name Elf Angels Creations is on it, and our logo. So those are pretty cool. So that's just a little quick update. And I guess the reason why the air is so dry in here is because the vents are going, or the fans, or I don't know, something's going, and there's dust flying into the rooms, and that dust is getting to us. So clear my throat and continue. And now I'm thinking about it, I should have just called this video Herbal Lessons or something, I don't know, or Herbal Spells, or something like that. So once I'm done this video, I can rename it. Oh, there it is. Oh, you can put these back too. I was just showing them as examples. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is cool. So I guess I'm gonna be having 7 different containers of different herbs. And yeah, oops. This afternoon we could package some of these if people want to purchase them. But I definitely want to have them packaged so that way, or put them in a jar or something. That way, when we need them for certain spells and healings and all that stuff, they are ready to go because they're already dried, which is great. They had weeks to dry. And yeah, because you want to make sure, oh, this one's kind of wet. You want to make sure that your plants are completely dry, so that way they don't go moldy. Like for instance, these ones here are not dry, but they can be used as offerings to the gods. But yeah, you want to make sure your whatever plant material you're using is extremely dry, so that way when you store it, even one little tiny piece of a plant material that is wet can actually ruin your whole storage. So that's why I like to work with plants by hand. So you could actually get to touch it. You get to feel the energy of the plant. You get to know the plant. And I haven't worked with roses in a long time. So now I'm working with rose again, especially working with this yellow rose, which I haven't worked on in years. Like I haven't worked with the yellow roses in years. But now that I'm doing that, it's like super healing to me. And yeah, it's bringing me back good memories. And it's making me think, like, how come I didn't work with the roses in such a long time? Like, and it's such a powerful plant. But, you know, things happen for a reason. Everything goes by divine timing. So, over the years, I wasn't meant to work with the rose plant until now. So, and today in the astrology is Thursday, sorry. Today is Thursday. There's a piece of sponge in there. I don't want to get that in there. Yeah, so today is Thursday. Traditionally, Thursday was known as Thor's Day. And Thor is the god of lightning and thunder in Norse mythology. And in Norse mythology, and his color to honor him is green. So that's why I wear green on Thursdays. For today's astrology, it's the 21st, sorry. So yesterday was to do with April 9, 2 days ago, sorry, was the sun entered in Taurus. So it was a season, this season is a wonderful time for slowing down and enjoying your senses. So I really don't like the Taurus energy, because whenever Taurus comes in, things slow down and it's frustrating, especially in a business sense. So you want to have that, you want to use that Taurus, that bull energy, to help you overcome a situation instead of slowing down, being stubborn like a bull. You want to help get that bull to work in your favor, to overcome, to bust through your obstacles. So it's good in that way. But now that the Taurus season for that is over, now we are going. Today we are in the third. We're in the Virgo energy, I believe it is. But in numerology, 21, because today is the 21st. 2 + 1 = 3. 3 has to do with growth, change, action, groups, and creativity. So again, working a lot with these flowers that are yellow. Today, it's to do with creativity. So we're working on our creative selves today, which is really, really awesome. 3s are also to do with keeping the faith, seeking guidance from your guides. The moon phase that we're in right now, which would be the waxing gibbous. Oh, sorry, we're going to the waning gibbous, sorry. So we're in the waning gibbous moon phase right now, which is during this phase, it's a good time to be thankful and a time of better communication and introspection. Again, because we are in a waning gibbous, we are in this moon phase. So disregard old habits and toxic relationships, a time to tie up loose ends, a time to slow down, practice gratitude, introspection is favored, relax, surrender, regroup, go easy on yourself, transformative phase, a time for sharing knowledge, strong energy, a time for potential and growth, accept what is, feeling full of love, motivation, and enthusiasm, learn from the lessons in the last moon cycle, theme, self-reflection, and rebirth, and let go of anything not released at the full moon so that you are ready to manifest at the new moon. So that's the waning gibbous. So that's where we we are in right now. And again, just like previously, I like to take off the blossoms of the flower. But in this case, the blossoms, like in this plant, the goldenrod, the blossoms and the leaves are so close together that I just take the leaves with the blossoms. Because whenever we work with a plant material, we always try to keep the flowers separately, the leaves separately, the stems separately, and so forth. So again, this is another little wand. The tip will chip over time, whatever, but if you don't want to use the tip, you could actually break that down in your favor. Let's break it down a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, so this is a wand here. So this is a goldenrod wand, and it has a purpose as well too. So we'll put that aside, and we'll talk about the goldenrod once I'm done this little breaking this plant material down. So that's what I mean, that nothing goes to waste. So here at Elf Angels Creations, we always work with different plant materials throughout the year for different situations, different spell work, things like that. So working with herbs also teaches you to have patience, because it's a lot of work. The drying process for each plant could take up to, could take a few days, could take a few weeks, could take a few months, depending on the plant. So not just that, like, gathering the herb, doing the research on the herb, drying out the herb. So it's all it's a whole ceremony in itself. Working with herbal medicine, and it teaches you patience, because if you rush through it and you're not being careful with what you're doing, and you're not separating the herb material, like for instance, some of the rose sepals got into this goldenrod, so I'm cleaning it by hand, making sure that there's no other plant material in here, nothing but goldenrod, making sure that there's other little foreign substances in there, like that piece of that sponge is not in there. So yeah, so out of working with that little goldenrod, couple of springs of goldenrod, we have 3 wands here. So these are going to be 3 goldenrod wands. And I just have to decorate them a little bit better than the way they look. These could be painted as well if a person wants them painted. They don't have to be, but you guys get the idea. Or that could be even made into a little miniature teepee. Okay, so now that we know we are working with goldenrod, let's find out what goldenrod does. Clean up my mess here a bit. Goldenrod is one of my favorite flowers. So goldenrod. So again, there's many different kinds of goldenrod. They're known as Aaron's rod, Blue Mountain tea, Gold Ruth, Gunay tea, Sweet Scented Goldenrod, Solidago, Verg d'Or, wound weed, and wound wart. So whenever a plant says wart, wart is an old word for herb. So it's a feminine energy ruled by the goddess Venus, the element of air. So again, as you guys are watching this video, did you notice that a lot of the plants that we're using today is ruled by the goddess Venus? So a lot of these plants, actually, all of these plants that we're using today are used in love spells and healing spells and protection. So it's very, very interesting how that theme keeps coming up over and over and over. And it's also telling us we need to work with the goddess of Venus. And you know what? I do not have a candle that is dedicated to Venus, but I should develop that today. And have a Venus candle, and then have a space for Venus, the goddess, and then offer these rose petals as an offering to her. And I could even go as far as creating an incense dedicated to Venus. So very interesting. Okay, so the goldenrod here also works with the powers of money and divination. So to see your future love, wear a piece of goldenrod. Ooh. He or she will appear on the morrow. So it says when you use the goldenrod as a spell, and you wear it, your love, the person that you're meant to fall in love with, will come into your life the day after. So very interesting, powerful love spell. When held in a hand, the flower nods in the direction of hidden. Oh my god, I ate junk food this morning and now it's coming up. Okay, held in the hand, the flower nods in the direction of hidden or lost objects, or where buried treasure lies. If goldenrod springs up suddenly near the house door, unexpected good fortune will soon rain upon the family living there. Goldenrod is also used in money spells. Very cool. There, so I am done with this little video now, so I'm just gonna continue cleaning up. So yeah, so today, oh, I thought someone was talking to me. Yeah, so today we've learned a lot. If you guys paid attention to the video, we learned about goldenrod, which is the latest one that we worked with. We learned about, let's clean up my mess here a little bit. So we learned about the goldenrod. We learned about the yellow rose petals. So once I do the write-up, it'll have more detail than what I showed today. We learned about the random yellow flower, and again, I'm sorry, I don't know what this flower is called yet, but I'm pretty sure it's an aster, but I'll double check that. So yeah, we worked with that today. Learned about the color yellow. We learned about lilies and how lilies are used to help break love spells. We learned about a little bit about the yellow or the pink rose petals, and how rose petals in general are used in different love spells, good luck spells, things like that. We learned about the carnelians and how carnelian is also used in those purposes. And I gave you guys a little bit of readings throughout the video. And we also learned about these little witch broom plants. I don't know what they're called, but these are going to be changed and decorated into witch brooms for protection. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video. I would definitely like to make more videos like this in the future. These videos are a little bit longer. Oh yeah, and we also used these guys that are not used in our workings right now. These are going to be offered to Mother Earth, and then be used for healing, you know, letting go of that, any kind of grieving, letting go of anything that's holding us back. Basically, we're going to be offering that to Mother Earth and making sure that Mother Earth heals those situations. And we also are going to be working with different rocks, river rocks, and like smoky quartz, new moon crystals, snowy quartz, some jaspers in here, agates, and those are going to be used as well in the store for love and healing spells. And the stuff that we're not using, unfortunately, like, you know, these spongy stuff, unfortunately that's going to go in the garbage. Again, I don't like wasting stuff, but that's a man-made material, so it'd be great to burn it, but that's causing more pollution, so we do not need that. So yeah, so today we learned about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we learned about 7 different plants today, and we learned about 4 different crystals, and we learned about offerings and all that. So thank you guys for watching. I'll get off the video here now and continue putting these stuff away, doing the research, all that stuff, and getting ready for our clients that are coming to the store today. So I'll do another video later on today, but again, thank you all for watching. Have a great day.